What's up guys, and welcome back to Wall Street Millennial. On this channel, we cover everything related to stocks and investing. In today's video, we're going to go over a recent complaint filed by the SEC charging a Greek citizen with selling insider trading information on the dark web. Insider trading is one of the biggest problems in the financial markets. Insider trading makes up the majority of financial crime charges brought by the SEC and the Department of Justice. This is partly because so many people have insider information based on where they work, and partly because when people have insider trading info, it is so tempting to try to trade on it or tip off friends or family to trade on it. But insider trading can do immense harm to the financial markets. Imagine if someone had access to pre-release earnings numbers for major US listed companies before the earnings were officially released, or if someone had access to big market-moving trades that a hedge fund or other big institutional money manager was planning on making before they actually submitted the trades. They could front-run those events, buying up stock before a bullish earnings release or before a big buy order by a hedge fund. Or they could sell a stock before an earnings miss or before a big sell order. By doing so, they unfairly take profits at the expense of other market participants. Active trading is a zero or negative sum game. Whenever shares trade hands, essentially no wealth or value is created, and in fact a small amount of wealth is destroyed due to infrastructure costs and transaction expenses. So when a trader uses insider information to make millions on the stock market, all of those profits are coming out of someone else's pockets. That makes it arguably no different than stealing. On December 5, 2016, a Greek citizen named Apostolos Travaias joined a marketplace on the dark web called AlphaBay. AlphaBay was a marketplace that operated on the Tor network, which was the largest such network. This part of the internet is made up of multiple overlay networks that basically allow users to communicate with each other anonymously and securely. They route internet interactions through multiple locations before reaching their ultimate goals, at each location adding or removing encryption in such a way that it's very difficult to both pinpoint the origin of the request and view the content of the message. These networks are only accessible using very specialized software. The Tor network is the largest such network and is used to facilitate virtually all illegal activities that you can think of: multinational drug dealing, identity theft, and other types of crime that normal people would rather not think about. On this part of the internet, Bitcoin is the primary medium of exchange for illegal goods and services. When Apostolos Travaias joined the AlphaBay marketplace, he used the alias The Bull. He posted listings like this one under the fraud category, advertising a service as, quote, hedge fund insider stock trading tips, unquote. He charged about $30 per single insider tip, payable by Bitcoin. On the listing, he said that the tips come from an employee of a trading branch within some sort of securities trading company. By buying the tip, he promised that buyers could benefit from knowing what big market participants are buying and selling. He also offered monthly and weekly plans for $300 and $100 respectively, whereby buyers could get multiple tips throughout the length of the plans. Here's a tip that he sent to one undercover IRS agent posing as a buyer. In the early morning before the market opened on June 16, 2017, he suggested selling the stock of PTC Therapeutics when the market opens that same day. The confidence level of the tip was pegged at 8 out of 10, suggesting high confidence. Throughout the next several days, undercover agents observed Travaias suggesting numerous other insider tips, some to buy and some to sell. For example, on June 27, 2017, he told his customers to sell short shares of BioNTech Pharmaceuticals when the market opened. Sure enough, the stock fell significantly that day, down more than 2% by the time the market closed. Over the course of that day, the stock was never up more than 0.5%, and at its lowest point was down more than 3.5% from the open. If his customers had followed his instructions on this trade and sold short at the open, and then had covered the short position at the close, they would have made a lot of money. After the first 6 months of selling this and similar insider stock tips, Travaias had received 100% positive ratings on the AlphaBay market. In June of 2017, the FBI seized computer servers operating AlphaBay and arrested its operator, a 25-year-old Canadian citizen living in Thailand. After AlphaBay was shut down, Travaias moved his insider stock tip business to an alternative marketplace called Dream Market. Like AlphaBay, Dream Market offered goods and services including drugs and fraud. For 2 years, he sold his tips on Dream Market, before it too was closed down. After it closed, Travaias moved to multiple other networks, including Nightmare Market and ASAP Market, always using the alias The Bull. During the entire time, both the FBI and the IRS solicited Travaias' tips through undercover agents. Gradually, Travais came to trust these customers and began sending them unsolicited tips beyond the hedge fund insider trade tips. On August 1st, 2017, he sent an undercover IRS agent an unreleased earnings report for the major American biotech company Illumina. Illumina is an advanced corporation with a nearly $70 billion market cap. It's a large corporation whose earnings are closely followed by Wall Street. On August 1st, 2017, he sent the IRS agent this tip containing the unreleased earnings numbers for the company's second quarter 2017 financial results. The results were not to be released until the market closed that day. He predicted that Illumina would release earnings of 82 cents per diluted share, total revenue of $662 million, and full-year guidance of $5.36 to 46 cents of GAAP earnings per share. He also predicted Illumina's non-GAAP earnings outlook to be announced as $3.60 to 70 cents a share. Shockingly, all of those numbers were exactly right. Illumina announced the exact same 82 cents of net income per diluted share, $662 million of total revenue, and guidance for 12% revenue growth, GAAP earnings of $5.36 to 46 cents, and non-GAAP earnings of $3.60 to 70 cents per diluted share. These earnings were obviously very bullish, indicating beats on almost all fronts. The next trading day, the stock opened up about 9% already, and finished the day up 14.8% from the previous close. Anyone who had received Travais' pre-release earnings could have benefited massively from this information. After this successful insider earnings release provided by Travais, he tried to sell undercover agents further pre-release earnings for other companies as well. He charged $5,000 for one particular pre-release report on a company called Analogic sold to an agent. The tip took the same format as the Illumina tip, with numbers for total revenue and net income for the quarter and full year. The most concerning aspect of Travais' tips was that they must have come from multiple insider sources from within different companies. He had access to insider information from a securities trader as to what trades they were going to make, as well as confidential financial results from a company as big as Illumina, among others. That means that it could not have been just one or two people. It has to have been a network of insiders all in on the operation. And Travais wanted to expand it further. In 2020, he discussed with undercover FBI agents a plan to develop an anonymous website for the purpose of brokering the exchange of insider information for use in trading. He asked the undercover agents to assist with the building of the website, where he would recruit insiders to provide material non-public information. The website would act as an escrow agent for the transactions. As the plan came along and the agents gained the trust of Travais, he suggested an in-person meeting with the undercover agents. In August of 2020, they agreed to meet in person to discuss the development of the website. And so ended the 3-year campaign to capture the insider information dealer. Over the course of the investigation, agents received hundreds of insider trading tips from Travais. Some of them turned out to be unprofitable trades, but others turned out to be spot on. For example, in this tip, Travais suggested to buy shares of DAIO after the market opened on February 20th, 2020. That same day, DAIO closed 6.5% higher. On July 9th, 2021, the SEC charged Travais with violating anti-fraud provisions of federal securities laws. It ordered him to pay back all of his illegally earned profits from his years of operating the scheme, as well as pay civil penalties. According to the SEC's press release, he sold over 100 subscriptions over the course of his scheme. In addition, the Department of Justice issued a parallel indictment against Travais, charging him with securities fraud and money laundering. The maximum sentences for those charges are 25 and 20 years, respectively. The actual sentence he receives will be determined by a judge, and he'll be prosecuted by the U.S. Attorney's Office's Securities and Commodities Fraud Task Force. Alright guys, that wraps it up for this video. What do you think about Apostolos Travais' insider trading scheme? How harmful to society do you think it was? Let us know what you think in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this content, make sure to like this video and subscribe so you don't miss future uploads. As always, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Wall Street Millennial, signing out.